you all for being here this morning. Happy Monday. It's a perfect day for us to be out here at Mascot Dock in Patchogue. So thank you, Mayor Pontieri, and everybody here in the village of Patchogue for making this possible. I'd like to introduce, just to start, some of our VIPs who are here with us today and here to help talk about and communicate the importance of hurricane awareness and preparedness, especially for us here on Long Island. So I'd like to start by introducing Nassau County Executive Laura Curran, Lisa Black, who is the Chief of Staff and Deputy County Executive representing Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone's office, Mayor of Patchogue Paul Pontieri, Bellport Village Mayor Ray Fell, Brookhaven Town Supervisor Ed Romaine, New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services Commissioner Pat Ryder. Thank you for joining us today, Pat. Pat Murphy, sorry.
It's okay, I wasn't gonna. You got the first part right. I was good.
I want to do over.
Pat Ryder's a good person.
New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services Commissioner Pat Murphy, Suffolk County FRES Commissioner John Jordan, Nassau County OEM Commissioner Steve Morelli, our representatives from National Grid and PSEG, Jim Flannery, who is the Vice President of Power Generation Operations and a Red Cross Board member, PSEG's Vice President of Transmission and Distribution, John O'Connell. We also have Bob DeMarinis, who is the Vice President of Gas Operations, also from National Grid with us here today. We have representatives from the Greater Patchogue COAD joining us. We have Sean Collins from Senator Anna Kaplan's office, and we have Patchogue Fire Chief Nick Greco here with us. And we also have a great number of volunteers, staff members, Red Cross Board members, and supporters from the community. And so thank you all for being here with us today. We really appreciate the support. We are really proud to partner with all of you to help keep Long Islanders safe and ready for what may come. The 2019 hurricane season comes off the heels of 2 record-breaking years that saw the American Red Cross mobilize historic relief efforts following multiple significant hurricanes. These include Hurricanes Maria, Harvey, Irma, Michael, and Florence. I'd like to quickly acknowledge the incredible Long Island volunteers, many of whom put their lives on hold for weeks at a time over the last 2 years to travel and support these unprecedented relief efforts very far from home. The Red Cross has a volunteer corps of approximately 1,000 dedicated and trained individuals here on Long Island and thousands more across the greater New York region. They are ready and trained to step in to help as soon as a disaster occurs. The Red Cross always is looking for more Long Island volunteers to be trained and ready across Nassau and Suffolk, and also to deploy to respond to disasters far from home as needed. Volunteers can help relief efforts in so many different capacities. They run emergency shelters, they distribute food, water, and relief supplies. They serve as liaisons across agencies and elected officials. They serve as nurses. They provide emotional support to people who have survived intense disasters. They help with the planning and logistics. There are volunteer opportunities for people from any background and with any skill set. You can visit redcross.org to learn how to join us. Long Islanders know all too well the threats posed by these storms, and although we have not seen a major storm here on Long Island since Superstorm Sandy, we cannot let our guards down. It takes only one storm to seriously disrupt our communities. Being prepared for a hurricane or any disaster can make a huge difference in how long it takes to recover. That's why the Red Cross urges everyone to take the necessary steps to get your family ready. Make time to build an emergency kit in the event that you have to evacuate or shelter in place. These kits should include food, water, basic supplies for every family member to last at least 3 days. Keep essential medications, prescriptions, copies of important documents, and special items for children, the elderly, and any pets that you may have. It's important to create an evacuation plan for you and your family that everybody is familiar with. We also urge residents to download our free Red Cross emergency app, which contains helpful resources and tools to help you stay safe and prepared before, during, and after a disaster. As an organization, we continue to build our capacity to respond to future emergencies, and we remain committed to addressing the emergency needs of Long Islanders affected by any disaster. One way we do this is through training and exercise. This past weekend, the entire Greater New York Red Cross, including this Long Island chapter, conducted a full-scale exercise in which we mobilized hundreds of volunteers, opened up mock shelters and service delivery sites, all with the goal of building our capacity to mobilize quickly and efficiently. Thank you again to all of our partners and friends for being here with us today. We appreciate it, and we look forward to working with each of you. So now I'd like to invite up Nassau County Executive Laura Curran to say a few words.
Thank you, Neela. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Neela, for organizing this important event. And I'm always happy to come to Patchogue with my municipal idol, Paul Pontieri, in the town of Brookhaven with Ed Romaine. So it's a treat to come here. And I know I can speak for my OEM commissioner, Steve Morelli, to say we're happy to make the trip for a good cause to Suffolk County. So we live on an island, and we know all too well the devastation wrought by hurricanes, the rising sea levels, the flooding, the ability of the ocean to come sometimes miles inland and bringing destruction in its wake. So we also know that preparation is the best protection, and I really want to thank the Red Cross for bringing this to light. And as Neela said, make the emergency kit, make the evacuation plan. If there is an evacuation order, please follow it. I want to bring you up to date on what Nassau County has done since Hurricane Sandy to be as ready as we possibly can, including adding disaster management contractors and disaster monitoring consultants to work with our Department of Public Works. Their services include debris removal, documentation, and disposal throughout an event and then after the event during the cleanup. Nassau County has also constructed an emergency command center in Hicksville that will facilitate and funnel emergency communication and operations through a single location to decrease confusion. In addition, our Office of Emergency Management has implemented a new early warning system called Everbridge, which can do mass notifications as well as pinpoint notifications to specific areas. We also have something called an Alert FM system, which uses radio station transmitters to send additional notifications. We also have radio trailers that will broadcast evacuation routes and real-time traffic information. And we also have a partnership with Waze and with Google Maps for those of us who are not necessarily using the radio for real-time information on traffic, on evacuation routes. We have 10 message signs that we can put up on big roadways with evacuation route information. We also have 50 portable traffic signal trailers and also 200 traffic signal power generators so that we can make sure that people can get where they're going as safely as possible. Some interesting statistics about this year's hurricane season, as predicted by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This season, 70% chance of it being what they call near normal. That means we will have probably 9 to 15 named storms, which is 39 miles per hour or higher winds. Of those 9 to 15, about half, about 4 to 18, could become major hurricanes with winds of 74 miles per hour or higher. Could just become regular hurricanes. And of those, 2 to 4 could be major hurricanes. So that's category 3, 4, or 5 with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. So, with Mother Nature, there are no guarantees. As I said, there's a 70% chance of it being near normal. So we just want to make sure that everyone is ready, everyone is prepared, and everyone knows what to do in the event of a hurricane. And as Neela said, we're coming off of 2 record-breaking years of hurricanes, including Maria, Harvey, Irma, Florence, and Michael. So in Nassau County, we have invested, we have built back stronger. We want to make sure our communities are prepared and our residents are safe. So now is the time, everyone listening out there, to do your part and make the proper arrangements and preparations to keep yourself and your home and your family safe. Thank you.
I'd like to invite up Patchogue Mayor Paul Pontieri to speak.
Welcome to Patchogue.
it's appropriate that we're at the spot that we're at. When Neil and I, when she asked me the question about doing a press conference, I kept thinking about places in town. The pictures that you see around here are of this dock, the mascot dock after Hurricane Sandy, just to show you the kind of power that it has. It was rebuilt through FEMA. You know, everybody talks about FEMA in so many different ways. This dock is a testament of what they can do and will do if you work with them. The other piece about it is about 4 miles from where we're at is the breach through Fire Island. Fire Island's about 5 miles across. We have the Great South Bay. We got a number of rivers. So it's storm surge. Where we're standing right now, we'd probably be standing up to your elbows in water. After Sandy, it was about 4.5 to 5 feet, or maybe 6 feet worth of water. So it is about preparing. It is about getting ready for it. It is about understanding and listening. Follow what your leadership tells you to do, whether it's County Executive Curran, Supervisor Romaine, Mayor Fell, whatever communities you're in. Listen to those. They will get you out. They will get you out safely and make the situation better for you. But really, today, and I thank Neela for doing it here in Patchogue, because it does emphasize the need for safety. Thank you.
Brookhaven Town Supervisor Ed Romaine.
Thank you. County Executive Curran said it best. We are an island people, and we jut out into the Atlantic, and we're just waiting for the next storm, and it will come, and we will be prepared as best as we can. Superstorm Sandy taught us a lot of lessons. I know we're working very closely with Suffolk County and the state on emergency preparedness, and with PSE&G and LIPA. Because I can still remember the 86 hurricane, that 85 hurricane, Gloria, where we were without power for over 10 days. We cannot have that type of situation again. PSE&G has worked very hard recently to ensure that if we get hit with the storm, we'll be back and it will not be 10 days. We are also making a list in the town of Brookhaven and registering all those who have some type of disability or handicap or special need. So if the storm hits, we know who we have to reach out to, who has a respirator, who has other machinery that they depend on to live, so that we can reach out to them and help them. One of the best things happening is all the people behind me. Because united, if we communicate with each other and coordinate, we can't stop a storm and we can't prevent the damage, but we can minimize the impact by working together and addressing the problems that we face. Thank you.
The Commissioner of New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services, Patrick Murphy.
You got it. Hey, I am Pat Murphy, the Commissioner for Homeland Security Emergency Services, State of New York. My comments will be brief. Really what I want to say is that the governor has a laser focus on emergency management. And with that focus, it's evident today we are at record level flooding up on Lake Ontario, record highs today. We are engaged along the entire North Shore in preparation and now starting the response for flooding. Businesses, the communities, private individuals, private homes are being affected as we stand here today. That same scenario could play here again in the near future. What we need to do is continue to focus on preparedness. And as we look at what's taken place since 2012 when we were here for Hurricane Sandy, it's incredible to me to come back and see how the communities have rebuilt and rebuilt even better than they were before. But it doesn't take us to a complete safe spot. We need to continue to that preparation for what potentially could come someday. So we need to continue that focus that the governor's set out for us. Secondly, I'd like to thank a couple of our very best partners, Steve Murray and John Jordan have been absolute heroes in preparing and being prepared for what inevitably could come. So our partnership with the counties is absolutely important, and the municipalities that they serve are really our customers, and we want to be there for them as we continue to move forward. And then finally, I want to recognize our partnership with the Red Cross. Incredible partners. In one of our closest examples that we have today is our ongoing relationship with the Citizens Preparedness Corps, and where the National Guard and the Red Cross team up to provide instruction and education for citizens. Since over the last 5 years, we've trained over 300 or nearly 300,000 of our citizens, and we continue that training as requested every day. And so that partnership, Neely, has been outstanding. We look forward to continuing that partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner of Suffolk County Fire Rescue and Emergency Services, John Jordan.
Good morning. We'd also like to thank Neela and all of the folks at the Red Cross for all that they do. The volunteers, I mean, the work that they do is unbelievable. So County Executive Balloon also has a laser focus on emergency preparedness, and he makes sure that we all have resources and things that we need to get that done. Obviously, when he came into office in 2012, he was met with Hurricane Sandy and the blizzards after, and we've seen a lot of weather over the last decade, severe weather over the last decade. And we're always working to continually to improve ourselves, improve our plans, improve our equipment, and things like that. Our partnerships with the Red Cross, we meet with the Red Cross. Red Cross is in our building. We meet with the Red Cross. We speak to them almost daily, as well as our partnerships with our towns, villages, all of our emergency preparedness partnerships, as well as PSEG, National Grid, and those folks. We've heard about the hurricane season that we're predicted to be near normal. We don't take anything for granted. At any moment's notice, anything can fall out of the sky. We're talking about hurricanes today, and we've seen it. We've seen the damage. We're standing where the damage was. It's very, very important to be prepared. And Mayor Pontieri said it. You have to heed the warnings when they come. When the emergency managers in your area tell you to act or be prepared or move, you really should do it. Just because you lived in a location for many, many years or decades and nothing's ever happened doesn't mean something won't. So please heed those warnings. Be remiss if we didn't, and County Executive wanted me to make sure that we thanked all of the volunteers in emergency services, fire rescue, EMS, and also the police departments, law enforcement. These guys, when the wind is howling, stuff like that, and we're all reverting and activating our personal plans, and we're finding shelter, whether it's with family or one of the Red Cross's shelters, those folks are out in the wind and in the danger, and we should really appreciate them for what they do. There's a couple of things that I just wanted to mention, things that we're asking for the public to do. That one of the things is sign up for our Code Red notification system. That is an ability for you to get real-time information from the county, emergency information, whether it's sheltering, whether it's to shelter in place. There's a number of things that you can get from that. Sign up for our Smart 911. It enables citizens to create a personal safety profile for their household, members in their household that can be linked together, and it provides key information to first responders in event of emergency. So first responders coming to your house, Supervisor Romaine had talked about if you have special needs, special equipment, things like that, you can give us as much information or as little information as you'd like, and we'll have it. The first responders will have that when they come. We also advise all our residents in our surge zones to go to our website, look at the surge zone mapping tools, find out where the local shelters are, and when there's an emergency, that information will be available to you in real time to see what shelters are open, things like that. You shouldn't be looking for sheltering information or find out if you live in a surge zone when the waves are crashing and the wind is howling. That stuff it should be done ahead of time. That's all available to the public, free of charge. Just go to our website, suffolkcountyny.gov. And just know, public awareness is key. And by staying informed and being prepared, we all increase our chances of staying safe and increase the likelihood of a faster and easier recovery. Thank you.
Nassau County Commissioner of OEM, Steve Morelli.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and I echo the sentiments of everybody that's spoken before me. All we could make sure is that we're all prepared. I'm grateful for the support that I received from my county executive, Laura Curran, and the support that we received from the New York State and from Suffolk County. We have a great relationship with all the parties and the players that are behind us, and everybody's mission is the same. Everybody's mission is to make sure that you are protected, that you are prepared, and that we are able to provide all the resources that we can for you. I'm grateful to the Red Cross. We also have a terrific relationship with the Red Cross. We do whatever we can to supplement their mission, and it's very important that we continue to maintain those relationships. I can't really echo more than everybody's already said before. Just take nothing for granted. Storms, 6 inches of water can move a car in rushing water. Take nothing for granted. As Commissioner Jordan said, if you're told to leave, then by golly, leave. Don't wait for it to come into your living room till you say, you know what, it's time for me to go. So all I can say is, let's be safe, let's be prepared, let's be careful. Thank you for having us all, and heed everybody's warning here. Be prepared. Thank you.
Red Cross board member and the Vice President of Power Generation Operations for National Grid, James Flannery. Jim.
Thank you, Neela. National Grid has a strong partnership with the Red Cross. Neela, you've done a great job leading this organization. Thank you for your efforts. Every year, National Grid employees prepare for storms and emergencies. We've strengthened our tabletop drill program, more than doubling the number of exercises annually for hurricanes and other emergencies. We are now doing 8 exercises per year and collaborating with external agencies in the planning and execution phases of those drills. These exercises are providing greater interaction and knowledge transfer for both National Grid employees and the external entities like the Red Cross, Nassau and Suffolk County Fire Departments and OEMs, FDNY, and the volunteer fire departments all across Long Island. The relationships we are building working side by side during these exercises will pay off in the event of a real emergency. National Grid has been making substantial investments in our natural gas system, installing latest technologies to keep our customers safe. We're investing in new technologies to strengthen the natural gas network in flood zone areas and communities located all across Long Island, especially the South Shore. We are installing an automatic shutoff valves on gas meters in flood-prone areas, and these shutoff valves will have sensors that immediately stop the flow of gas into homes and businesses as soon as flooding is detected. We will be able to operate these valves remotely so that specific customers can be shut off instead of entire neighborhoods. The installation of these 58,000 valves is expected to begin later this fall. In addition to our various meter and regulating stations across Long Island, we are raising the controls and electronics above the flood line. We are also expediting the replacement of leak-prone pipe in flood-prone areas in Long Beach and Lindenhurst and converting to high pressure. National Grid also owns and operates several large steam generating stations on Long Island, including multiple gas turbine generation sites. Similar to our gas organizations, we have invested in those facilities to ensure that they are storm hardened. At this time of year, we perform routine maintenance so that in the event of hurricanes or storms, our units will operate safely and reliably. Within the last 12 months, we have also built and commissioned 2 battery storage projects, one in East Hampton and the other in Montauk. These batteries are operational and supporting the growing demand for electricity on the South Fork. Safety is a top priority for National Grid and for all our customers. And I'd like to take the opportunity to remind everyone of the importance of planning for emergencies. Customer preparedness is critical to our response efforts and helps our crews restore gas service quickly and safely. Thank you.
Finally, I'd like to call up another Red Cross board member, John O'Connell, who is the Vice President of Transmission and Distribution for PSEG Long Island.
Thank you, Neil. Good morning, everybody. Man, we get another mile or two of wind. We're going to be at hurricane force levels out here. But really pleasure to be here. PSEG is really an advocate of preparedness. echo some of the comments earlier that there will be another hurricane, and we intend to be ready. Over the last year, we have strengthened the electric grid. We've worked with our people and our processes. We've worked with our technology, and we've worked with our counterparts in emergency response. We've trimmed trees away from lines to the tune of 3,000 miles. We've replaced over 9,000 utility poles. The federally funded FEMA circuit hardening program is well along, hardening over 850 miles of facilities. We've raised our flood-prone stations to safe levels. Beyond that, we've upgraded our website and our technology systems. Last year, we turned on a state-of-the-art mobile application that will be used as we bring foreign utility crews to the island. The application provides them with electronic maps, key information, and allows the crews to report progress immediately and instantaneously without the use of paper. On May 22nd, we conducted our annual tabletop exercise. Many of the partners here attended to practice with us to be ready. It was a great event, and we've had a number of training sessions with the entire organization. We echo the prior comments, encouraging all residents to err on the side of caution and be ready. Stay away from down wires. Any down wire should be considered live. And if you see one, stay away and report it to PSEG Long Island. We'll take care of it. Thank you.
So that really concludes the speaking portion. I do want to say another thank you to everybody for joining us here today, the folks behind me, all the people who are here, including our partners, volunteers. We have a great number of Red Cross board members, the Patchogue COAD for showing up. The work that we do when a disaster happens in partnership, and the relationships that we have built with everybody here are the reason why we feel ready for what may come, and we encourage the community at large to also do what you can to be prepared. If you'd like, you can take a look at some of the items that we have here on display. These are just some things that we encourage people to keep in a preparedness kit or in a go bag in your car. We also have our partners and the Red Cross. We've all brought out some interesting vehicles and some of the new equipment that we all have that is really ready for any kind of disaster that might hit our region. So thank you.